Hi, I'm Kim. You're watching Kim Wilson TV. My channel is dedicated to helping victims of narcissistic abuse get free and stay free. Before I get going with this video, I just want to take a moment to thank our friend Dorothy very much for your donation to our channel's PayPal account. Your donations keep the channel going and keep the channel growing. Thank you for your continued support. This is a really exciting morning for public announcements. Now, as I mentioned the other day, there is a fabulous little studio apartment for rent for a survivor of narcissistic abuse in Chicago. So if you're in the Chicago area, if you could benefit from safe housing, please leave a comment below or email me and I'll hook you up. There is also rooms available in Sydney, Australia, for survivors of narcissistic abuse in a safe and nurturing environment. So if you are in the Sydney area, please leave a comment below. Additional really great news from Sydney is there is a new meetup starting. If you are in Sydney, I would strongly encourage you to get together, leave a comment so you guys can find each other. I do believe the value of one-on-one friendships, meeting new people, being able to look people in the eye is going to be of tremendous value for you on your healing path. So if you are in Sydney, please leave a comment below and let's get you guys hooked up for this fabulous new meetup. The news gets better and better. There is a new meetup starting in Houston, Texas. So if you are in the Houston area and believe you would benefit from meeting fellow survivors, getting to know people, being able to shake hands, get your arms around somebody. I'm telling you, I've done it recently and it's an incredible feeling. So please leave a comment below and let us know that you are in the Houston area and willing to extend yourself to your fellow survivors. Now, the good news just keeps coming this morning. If you live in or near Townsville in the province of Queensland in Australia, and you are looking to get away from the narcissist, or you could benefit from safe, affordable housing, please leave a comment below. I do have images of this rental and it's absolutely charming. The grounds are beautiful and tranquil and calming. So please leave a comment below and we'll get all you guys hooked up. Always been incredibly honored to be a member of this collective. So many times friends here at the channel have opened up their homes for people, have driven miles to get a fellow survivor out of a bad situation or out of a shelter. So many times people have created employment opportunities for their fellow survivors, started meetups, started Facebook pages, done their part to try and raise the vibration and extend yourself in love and kindness for a fellow survivor. I'm truly honored to sit amongst you all. And one quick question, and it's kind of personal, and it's about gardening. Now, people have been noticing that my knuckles are pretty cut up and my hands are all bloody. I have started a pretty big container garden up on the roof. Now, I am having some issues, and that is because of this tropical weather. It's extremely hot, and of course, until seeds, break open and the roots start coming out, they have to be kept kind of cool. So I am kind of struggling with that. I was up at 5 this morning. I put my gazebo tent over them, trying to keep it a little cooler. But if anybody has any ideas to solve this problem, I'd really love to know about it. Another thing is, if you are a gardener in a hot climate, I'm noticing a lot of leaves and then the plants kind of die off. And I think what's happening, on further examination is the leaves get big really quickly because of the photosynthesis, but the roots are not developing properly because so much energy is going into leaf development. And I'm just wondering, should I be popping leaves off? Should I be shading them? If anybody's got any experience with this, because I'm finding a lot of foliage and very underdeveloped root systems. If anybody knows about this, please email me, kimwilsontv@gmail.com, so I can get this problem solved. And this brings me to the subject of gardening. Now, gardening was another aspect of my life, a real passion, a real love that I had that was gravely tarnished by my relationship with the narcissist. It became a constant source of me being on eggshells, trying to sneak a few minutes here or there to tend to the garden. Though I was not in the garden often, because of course Trevor and I worked, I would check the gardens early in the morning, and then of course when I got home in the evening, maybe 30 minutes in total a day, but even that was cutting into his need for my constant attention. Just drama. I mean, absolute drama around gardening. In his mind, of course, the gardening was taking time away from him. In addition to that, it was something that made me feel great. It was something that made me feel really, really alive, something I was passionate about. I would grow tomatoes, and then I would can them, and of course the canning became a problem. Though I'm a very tidy worker in the kitchen, constantly bitching and complaining about canning. I mean, it was absolutely nuts. And of course, I found myself sneaking to do the gardening. Like, I'd get up an hour early while he was still asleep, and I'd be out gardening in darkness, as not to tip the apple cart. Now, I end up, you know, having a lot of real negativity kind of injected into my life regarding the gardening. You know, of course, the eggshells, feeling like I was sneaking around, constantly trying to smooth it over, you know, hoping I don't get caught out in the garden. And when I was in the garden, of course, he'd be screaming, "I'm going to pave this yard over." It was absolute madness. And of course, I started to have negative feelings attached to that love and hobby that I had. And though I have been planning to get back gardening, it is something I've put off since returning to Mexico. I've been here almost 9 months now. And though I have been fully intending to pick up that love again, I really needed to purge myself of it, really change the narrative in my mind, and really, you know, figure out, you know, why I love it, why I want to do it, why it's important to me, and make it mine again. Kind of remove any of that narrative that the narc had injected into it. Because, of course, they so inject themselves into our lives. Their opinion becomes so overbearing that it's not just my hobby anymore. Now he's attached to it. So I really needed to sit, purge all the negativity, and reattach this love in my life as something for me exclusively, about me, for me, something I wanted to do, something that makes me feel good and feel alive. So I have absolutely taken this very bold step in reestablishing myself as a micro farmer. People have been noticing all the cuts and nicks and stuff on my hands, and that's because very recently I've started container gardens. I have bought a big tub to mix my soils. I went and got 5 different types of organic soil, and once I dumped them all in the bin, I went, oh damn, I don't have a shovel. So I had to mix everything with my hands, so my hands are a bit cut up. Someone asked if I was in a fight. Yeah, a fight with a tub of soil, and the soil won. My hands are absolutely killing me, actually. Gardening can be a bit hard on your hands. Of course, when I left Canada, I gave my beloved seed bank, my entire seed collection, to my son. I have slowly been trying to restore my seed collection. It pales in comparison, of course, to what I left, and though I'm glad I was able to give it to my son, I certainly felt a tremendous sense of loss, you know, having to sever that, because I really love my seed bank. I just love collecting seeds, but I have started again over the last few months here in Mexico, and though it's been kind of slow and steady, and I am slowly building up, you know, some organic seeds, and I'm feeling pretty good about it. I mean, it does pale in comparison to what I had, but I recently came in possession of 20 organic Mexican blue corn seeds. Now, these are quite rare. They're extraordinarily special, and though my seed collection is quite meager today, these are absolutely the crowning glory ever in the history of my seed collection. So I'm really, really excited about that. Now, I think it's absolutely imperative that each of us starts to take the steps to restore our life and get back to those things that light a fire in us, because from that fire it's going to glow and that light's going to spread. And yes, I had apprehensions, I had fears, there was filth and muck and you know, just a puddle of mud associated with it. But I have leaped that puddle of mud, and I am back doing the things that I love to do. Now, it started with the jewelry. I'm sewing houseware, stroll pillows, Pareos, a really, really funky line of handbags that are really quite overstated. I had so much fun doing those. And now the gardening. So I am slowly, day by day, getting my life back to where I used to feel happy, where I had some pride in myself, and where I've had the chance to rewrite the narrative and really establish why I do these things and how these things are about me, and how in many ways these things define me. If I didn't pick these things up again, I feel like letting these things go would have defined the abuse. And I am not the victim of abuse. I am Kim Wilson. I am alive, and I do have passions and hobbies and things that make me feel very excited in life. Oh, in addition to the blue corn seed, I did get 6 organic peanut seeds. Now, as a Canadian, never in my lifetime had I ever considered growing peanuts. In fact, I knew nothing about peanuts, which is kind of weird because I do know quite a bit about a lot of different crops. I actually thought peanuts grew on trees. I know, crazy, right? Well, they don't. But I did get 6 organic seeds. 2 of them popped up yesterday. I'm not growing them as any type of food supply, but because I only had the 6 seeds, I am going to nurture these plants to the point that they generate a much larger seed volume for me. But holy cow, like, I'm growing peanuts. It's the most exciting thing ever. No, I don't have my old seed bank, but guess what? I've started a new one, and I'm growing peanuts. And yes, I've got Mexican blue corn in my new seed collection. So it's been really, really exciting for me. In fact, though my seed collection is not what it used to be, with those blue corn seeds in there, I gotta tell you, my batteries are charged. I was out early this morning foraging in an open area not far from my house where there's a lot of tropical wildflowers growing, and I was able to gather some seeds from those plants. Like, I just feel really excited again about seed banking and seed saving and gardening. So this has kind of been the missing component, the thing I needed. Oops, do you guys hear that? Sorry, street noise. The buses go by here. Anyways, sorry, my street's a bit noisy. But day by day, I'm doing something. And of course, since those peanuts popped up, I really felt excited. And it's got me out in the mornings now foraging and looking for exotic seeds. Oh, I also have 8 hibiscus seeds. I've never owned hibiscus seeds. In fact, I am germinating those now. So though things aren't as they had been, they are back on course, and with each day, with each new thing, I feel more and more inspired, I feel more excited, and it's really coming along. And I really encourage you today, if you've had to put something down, something you loved, something that warmed your heart, that you felt passionate about, oh man, just, it's risky. I mean, there can be insecurities associated with it. There can be this kind of cloud of filth, you know, that was injected onto you by the narcissist. But every step you take away from it, every step you take towards restoring this aspect of your life, just gets this huge distance between you and the abuse, you and the filth that was injected on this hobby and this passion. And I'm so glad I've been taking these steps, and really I have you guys to thank for this. I mean, I am so honored and so proud to be a member of this collective. Your support has been overwhelming. Today, I just try to stay focused on all the wonderful, positive things that are happening in my life. Why? Because I have control over that. I have the choice to continue looking to the future. I don't have to pay any mind to smear campaigns, lies, misinformation, ridiculous allegations. I can just dismiss it as the psychotic babblings of a maniac, because that's what it is. And I have received several emails this morning, and I noticed several comments. Many of you are under attack in the smear campaign, as I am right now, but you know what? The truth will rise to the top. And anyone launching a smear campaign, well, just know, It's all telling. It's absolutely all telling of what you really are, because sane, normal people just don't launch smear campaigns. One thing that has become abundantly clear to me since I've been on this healing journey, and as I have been restoring the aspects of my life that were taken from me, those things appeared to be covered in filth. Those things appeared to be presenting a negative narrative to me. But I've come to realize that it was never about those things. It wasn't about me making jewelry. It wasn't about me gardening or canning. It wasn't even about me. None of it is personal. Oh man, does it feel personal? I mean, it feels personal like a dagger in your heart. But it truly isn't personal, and I've really come to understand this and really internalize this. When someone is with intent trying to harm you, causing a smear campaign, creating chaos, just any of this narc behavior, it's about them. It's about their overwhelming self-shame. It's about the hatred and the envy that they simply cannot control. It's about their inability to self-regulate emotionally. It's about their inability to be logical or reasonable. They are filth. They are swines. They are wallowing in mud, and we have the option to rise above it. I was really able recently, through correspondence with you guys, through your comments and emails, really able to separate and say, you know what, this wasn't about the gardening. It was never about me making jewelry. It's not even about me. And I'll tell you how I know this. Trevor did this to everyone in his life over his entire lifetime. Name, appearance, none of that matters. Just the source of supply. We were a source of supply. And they got supply by taking these things from us. A narcissist is only ever going to have the power we give them. I gave Trevor power. I have felt hurt in the past by smear campaigns, but I'm done with that. I am busy right now. I am busy leading my life. I am busy creating jewelry. I am busy sewing. I am busy gardening. I am busy being happy. I am busy feeling confident and safe in my own skin. I am busy loving my children and watching them grow and flourish. I am busy. I am too busy for that. I simply don't have time for it. The fact that other middle-aged women have nothing better to do than sit around plotting evil against somebody is all telling, and it's too filthy for me to get engaged in. It's yuck. I'm sorry, not to be a snob, but I will consider myself to be above that. I mean, it's absolute gutter rat behavior. And we get the choice. We don't have to let this hurt us. We can look on at it and laugh and thank God that they are exposing themselves. Therefore, we don't have to. Guys, pick up where you left off, even if it's something simple. Even if you were a big gardener like I once was, start with a few containers. If you have a musical background and you're maybe not ready to start performing, start listening to music really steadily. Start writing new songs. If you're a photographer, get out there. Don't make a big day of it. Just photograph the things that are right in your own backyard or around your house. Just start somewhere. Day by day, you move farther and farther away from the abuse and the filth that was associated. And no, it isn't about your career or your hobbies or your passions. It isn't even about you. It's about them and the filth they wallow in. Guys, I love you lots. Thank you so much for your continued support. I'm Kim. You're watching Kim Wilson TV. I hope you guys are having a great narc-free day.